I'm gonna call y'all VIP. Okay, I'm gonna call y'all VIP. Y'all who are here, like everyone's not gonna show up all the time. Everyone's not gonna try and take that big step. And you all are here, and it means a lot. And now we're about to get really close and very specific about who y'all are gonna help. Okay, we are live on YouTube. What? Okay, we got this figured out. We got it figured out. All right, let's go. We're about to jump into this. Okay, so this is the masterclass. Welcome. You're watching this on YouTube. You're watching this on Facebook. This is a first. This is actually a first for me, streaming on multiple platforms and just raising the level up. And I just want to say I appreciate all of y'all for just being there for you. And of course, we have our VIP people in the Zoom room, but you all who are getting this recording, I'm gonna give you the most value. We're gonna dive straight into it. I know it's a new year, such a cliche thing that everybody says. But I wrote down like two things really for today. It's really three, but it's really just two. We talked about this in some previous ones. We talked about like how's this year going to be different from last year. So if you're just jumping in right now, what I want you to do is write that question down and answer that, and look at it and see, can I visualize that? And can I like to say like a 5-year-old, can a 5-year-old draw it? So if you say, oh, it's gonna be different from last year because I'm gonna do this. No, can a 5-year-old draw it? Because if you start doing, well, because I'm gonna upgrade and enhance how I look at everything. No, no. Can a 5-year-old draw what you're trying to say? Because the more they can draw it, the more clear it is for you. The second thing is, what are you going to consistently do? Like, what are you going to consistently do? This has been so powerful for me already because your mind's going to try to negotiate, and you can't outdo your willpower as much as you want to say it. But you can have a rule, as I think it's Kobe Bryant who started it, saying publicly, who's just like, I don't negotiate with myself. When I say we're going to do this, we're doing it. There's no question. We're not questioning it. Because in the moment, you'll want to question and get out of it. So what are you going to consistently do? And it could be something as simple as just doing what I say. And since I gave that to some of my clients and people here who are on the live, who have been with me in the past, since I've said that to myself, I tell myself less things now. You know, I said, what am I going to I'm going to consistently do what I tell myself. So I'm not giving myself 50 things to do anymore because I'm only going to get to about 30 of them. 10 of them I'm going to forget right off the rip. I'm going to forget 10 of those things. So now let's just do one or two things. Like, let's go to the gym every day. Let's get 2 or 3 hours every day of some kind of personal development. Doesn't matter who it is. Let's just get notepad, write it out. And the third question that we had is, what will you show up for? So what will you show up for? And you all here who are VIPs in the Zoom room, you all have answered that question. So keep that to yourself, and maybe look at, like, keep that piece of paper and maybe look at it to see how can you clean it up a little bit. And because the third question is, what will you show up for? What are you going to show up for yourself? You're going to show up for other people. You're going to show up for the future version of you. What are you going to show up for? So these are the three questions that we got into in the past. So if you're just jumping in on YouTube or Facebook or wherever I'm recording this, you'll be caught up answering those questions. Because now I realize it's time to really shift. You know, I'm in a program right now. It's called the Supernova Offers Challenge. And it's with Eileen Wilder. It's not too late to join it, actually. Tomorrow's the last day. And if you join it, you actually get access to all the recordings, and it has been phenomenal. It's talking about creating offers. Offer creation is wealth creation. And that means that what we've been learning so much is the more you can develop an offer, you can create an offer for someone, meaning you can solve someone else's problems and you can get them a result. And the more they can see the result that you can get them, the more you can charge. And this is one thing that I've been looking at so much. It's just like, it's not about cost, it's about value. Like it's truly about that. It's truly about cost over value. And I was thinking about it because basically I've been in seminar the whole week and in a few other programs I'm taking. So it's been about 5 or 6 hours a day, notes, sitting down, you know, I'm not riding around here. I'm living in Mexico. I'm not riding the mountains like I normally do. And I'm like, no, it's time to go like monk mode, so to speak. And what it means is and I just had this like epiphany right before this class started, is I just finished the gym. I was kind of hurrying to get home so I can eat and then have our little party, our little masterclass party. And I was I needed some sugar. I've been having a lot of like, I forget what the English word is. Hibiscus, I think it's called. It's like it's like a red flower. It's called Jamaica here in Spanish. And I think it's hibiscus, and it's really good for you. I've had it without sugar. And I was at the gym and I was so thirsty. And I'm like, you know, I'm working every day this week at the gym and going pretty hard. I need some sugar. So to get back to my place, I'm riding around looking at different restaurants like, hey, do you guys have any like agua de Jamaica? Means you guys have any of this hibiscus water with sugar? And they're like, no, we don't. And I'm running around. I'm like, I only got 30 minutes to get all this and eat and then go to the class and get cleaned up, still sweating a little bit from the gym. And I was just like, as I was searching for it, as I was searching for this water, in my mind, I know how much I was going to pay for it. But because I couldn't find it, the value of it rose. Like the value, how much I would pay for that cold 1 liter of Jamaica water, like the value rose the more I couldn't find it because it became more valuable to me. It was becoming more valuable. Normally I'd pay like 20 pesos. That's like $1 or something for a liter. But then I was like, man, I would pay like 40 pesos for one right now. And I'm still running around. And this is all probably like a 2-minute period. And I'm like, I would pay like 70 pesos. I'd pay 4 times as much as it normally is because the value of it. And the one thing we've learned in this class that we're doing with Eileen Wilder and another lady, Jackie LeCroix, is just like, it's the value. Like people who pay high ticket, who really pay, wealthy people, they look at value. The cost doesn't matter. Because if I could give you guys, if I said, if you guys send me $10 on PayPal, I'll send you $100. And I'll do that all this month. Just think about how much money you would send me. Like, would there be a limit? Send me everything you got. You're going to get it right back in 30 seconds. And so that's very valuable. So the one thing I've realized is value. It's about adding value. So right now, you've got your 3 questions. We've talked on the past, and the way I've coached and taught is drastically changed over this week now, even with people that I work with, because now we got to raise the value. We got to raise the value of what we bring, how we show up, what we give to people. So right now, what I want you guys to do, the question that I have for you this year, because some of you guys have so much value that you could add to people's lives. There's something that you do so easily. Think about this. There's something you do so easily, you don't even think about it. And there's someone out there who struggles to do it. They got money, they got cars, they got almost everything they need, but the simple thing that you do, they have not achieved it. They have not achieved it. Maybe it's trying to figure out how can they get working out involved with like their business life. Like, how can they get back in shape? How can they be more outgoing? I know some of you guys in the VIP room, like, how can they go explore your city? What's there to see there? Like, what's some things you do to calm down? They have so much commotion and so much, the word that comes to mind is turmoil inside their mind. They just need someone who can help them figure it out. And some of you guys have the answer. And that, because you have that means you have an immense amount of value to add to them. And someone who's been suffering for a long time, like me running around here just trying to find a place where I could get some juice with some sugar in it because my muscles needed sugar. We crushing it in the gym. We did like, I think I put like 135. I do a lot more than that, but I did 135 and I did 40 reps, like nonstop. How many reps can I do in 30 seconds? So just put like a 45-pound plate. So it's like 20 kilos here. I think it's like 45s in the States, and just rep out, boom, boom. And I got up to like, I think like 38, I think today, and do like 4 sets of that. And so I'm like, I need sugar. Like, we've been burning a lot. Let's get some sugar. And as I couldn't find it, the value of what I would have paid for it will go up. The value that I would have paid for that, I would have paid the whole 100 pesos that I have, which is like $5 for that, even though it normally costs less than $1, because I needed it and I was thirsty. And there's people out there who need what you have, and they are thirsty. They haven't been able to figure it out anywhere. They haven't been able to solve that problem. They haven't figured it out. And they don't even know if there's someone out there who can help them. But they would pay premium money for it. There's so many people who will buy high ticket things for us. I'm learning in this seminar. It's like the fourth one I've taken with this lady because it's phenomenal. And I've done really well after every single one of these, because you got to remember, as you hear something, if I tell you the same thing every single day, you're not going to hear the same thing every day. You're not going to hear the same thing every day, because what's going to happen is eventually your mind is going to start to hear it differently. Just like if you watch a movie right now, or you watch a movie back when you was a kid, like you're going to get a whole different view, whole different ball game. So what I want you guys to start to do is think value. This is what I want to imprint in your mind right now. Value. Everyone that you talk to every day is struggling with something. A lot of people are struggling with things they haven't told anyone else about, but it's about value. Value is all I want you to think about. Value, value, value. How can you add value to people? And the more you have to understand, the more that you can add value to people's lives, the more I'm trying to think, what is the more value you can add to people's lives, the more that they will be there, they will listen, they will pay attention. Like the more you add to it. And some of you guys have so much value. So what I want you guys to do in this is a simple question. I literally wrote it down. When I write something down, it's a big deal because I usually go straight off the top of my head with this, or straight from my heart, and try to let it flow out my mouth without getting into my head and really starting to think about how to say it. And the thing is, I want you guys to do what I want you to do now. Now we're going to jump into this little part. Is I want you to think about who can you help. That's all I want you to think about. This is your homework assignment. You all here in the Zoom, in the live, you guys know, like, we don't play around here. Like, this is your assignment for you to do. Who can you help? And I don't say everybody. Everyone is nobody. Okay. I remember I was living well, I've lived in France for 8 years, but one of the years I was living there, I got really kind of sad, because where I lived, I was kind of, I'm not gonna toot my own horn. I was kind of like a superstar, everyone knows me. Getting to clubs for free, go everywhere. I was living on the beach, South France, 20 minutes from Spain, and I lived in a hotel. I lived in a hotel suite actually for about 2 months, excuse me, before my house was ready in France. And it was a beach town, and it was packed in summer, full of people. We know everybody, like everyone knows us. And I went out every night, man, so much fun. But then it would just get to this hard part where I'd be just feeling empty inside. Like it was always like Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday afternoon, it would hit me of like this, like, man, I'm by myself. Like I'm on my own. Like this is not okay. And one of the reception ladies at the hotel, because I had to walk to the hotel to get to the back of it to where the suites and everything were. And, we were kind of friends. And I went to her and I was like, Candace, she's like, "Are you okay, Luke? You always seem happy." I was like, "Yeah, I don't know, I don't know." I didn't speak French at the time. And I was like, "I feel kind of alone, sometimes." She's like, and it's so weird because I know everybody. This is what I told her. I was like, "It's so weird that I feel alone because I know everybody." And she told me something. I'll never forget this because she told me in English. She was one of the few people in the hotel who spoke English. She was just like, "Luke, well, the person who knows everybody knows nobody." That was like a stab in the heart of just like, oh my goodness. So it's the same with us trying to help people. If you try to help everybody, you're helping nobody. Because if you just yell out, I think Alex Hormozy, he says it the best I think it's his book's Leads. He was talking about $100 Million Leads was the book. I attended the event and bought the books and everything. I listened to it on the podcast, and he said, if you're in a mall and you yell out, "Hey, everybody," like no one really looks. Like people look or something. If you say, "Hey, mom," now all of a sudden the moms look. And if you say, "Hey, American," like if you're here in Mexico and you yell, "Hey, American," Americans are gonna look. But if you yell out, "Hey, Luke," I'm gonna look. So the question is, who are you talking to? Like who are you talking to? When you go on social media, you have a podcast, even in your day-to-day life, because what you're passionate about usually comes out in every conversation. Who do you want to help? So your assignment for today, for this session, is I want you to I want you to come up with your own, I want you to come up with who you are going to help. That's all I want you to do. So especially everyone here in this Zoom room, all you VIPs in this Zoom room, like that's your assignment 100%. And anywhere else I post this video, YouTube, this goes for y'all too. I'm not even on there right now, so I can't even see y'all's comments or your comments or anything. I can't see it. This is the first time I've actually streamed it on there in a long time. I want you to come up with who do you want to help. And one of the things that come up in people's mind when they're trying to figure out who to help is, I don't know who to help. Well, you went from helping everybody to not knowing who you want to help. We're just trying to narrow it down. I just want you to choose one person. We'll choose more later. We can come back here in 2 weeks and you help the next group of people, but choose a group of people to start with. If you don't know who, the best advice that I've heard it probably 20 times, but it didn't hit me until this time. I heard it 3 days ago. Help the you 3 to 5 years ago. That's what I want you to do. Help the you 3 to 5 years ago. That's all I want you to do. The you 3 to 5 years ago, help them. That's it. Just help them. Is that clear? Think of who you were 3 to 5 years ago and help them. What did you struggle with that you wish you would have found someone to help you with? Someone could have told you something. This is what I want you to come up with. Because I think when you start to see this, you're who you talk to gets so clear. I know so many people, they don't post, they don't share because they don't know who they're talking to, or they change who they're talking to every week. Or like me, I talk to so many different people on so many different platforms. I have to like change personalities for every platform I go on. It's just like choose somebody and create 100 pieces of content for them. And let's see how that goes. That's all I want you to do. So this is your assignment. 100, like you don't have to do 100. Just choose who you want to talk to and make one video to them. Don't post it anywhere. Don't even do that. Listen, because that will get you, now you're going to get in your head. The second I say, hey guys, post it somewhere, then you're going to start to get in your head. Don't even think about that. I don't want you to post it nowhere. I want you to make a video or an audio to that person. And I want it to be to them, like to the part of them that's hurting. What was it that was hurting in you? I want you to make that piece of content for them. And then I want you to do it one more time. And I want you to bring it with you into the next class. So you have a week, but do it today or tomorrow. If you don't, then just understand that you're in a separate class of people. Like there's people who act now and do it. Like the top people act now. Like it's now. Like we played a little challenge in the group that I'm in the challenge that I'm in, and they guaranteed everyone 10x if they put their money, send their money in PayPal to this in this group that I'm in. So people sent money to them. There were other rules and other stuff, but basically they sent money to them and they 10x their money right away. Everyone that sent the money in, they got 10x their money back. And it was just to show whoever could react the quickest in 5 minutes. It's like a power habit. And you got to have that vision of who it is that you want to help. Because I'm telling you, when it comes to creating content, when it comes to stuff like this, it's very challenging. We don't know who you're talking to. You can take the approach like I did in the beginning. The approach I did was I just decided to make I made my content just as a documentation, I'm talking to the camera. I don't know who the camera is, but I'm talking to the camera. But as I wasn't really making money, people weren't really paying me so much doing that. They're like, maybe this guy can help me. But as I got assertive and I started talking to somebody, that's when people started to answer me. That's when things started to change, and you can really make an impact with something that's so easy. Next session, I believe we'll do it the next class or maybe 2 classes from now. I'm going to show you guys a little chart, and it's going to blow your mind of how you can add value to people. But you need to choose. Without knowing who you're talking to, you're just talking to everybody. And if you guys remember, if you're talking to everybody, who are you talking to? Talking to nobody. Nobody knows who you're talking to. They hear you say, okay, so listen up, guys. That's like one of the most, like, when people are like, okay, they're not talking to me. But I say, hey, listen up to everyone living in Cleveland. Listen up, everyone living in New York. Listen up, everyone living in Illinois. If you're in Chicago right now, like all of a sudden your eyes, oh my goodness, guy's talking to me. Hey, if you're in Mexico right now, if you're in Mexico for the last 6 months, like now it's just like, oh, you got my attention. Like, hey, if you guys are 6'8", 270-pound African American living in Mexico, I have something for you. My attention is like 100% because there's no doubt they're talking to me. I think there's only one of me here. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to decide who are you talking to. Okay, we can, like, I had like a little second part that I had on that question, but that is just that seems like a little bit too much. I might just give it to y'all anyways. But who can you help and who do you want to help? Okay. We can get into other stuff later. I just want you to choose who you're going to help. That's it. That's it for today. Who are you going to help? Choose someone. Who, and if you still can't get through, I know there's still people who are like, I still don't know. Who were you 3 to 5 years ago? What were you struggling with? Just find out, who was I 3 to 5 years ago? What was I struggling with? What I wish somebody would help me with? What was I like going to bed thinking about? Write all those down. And that's who I want you to help. Because you're still here. You still made it. Like, a lot of people aren't here anymore because they couldn't deal with it. I read a crazy stat, and I'll probably end on this. I don't want to end on this note, but I read a crazy stat. Like, up until this point, this is up until the 16th of January, okay? Up until the 16th of January, 2024. So just in this year, so just in the first 16 days of the year, 33,000, I'm going to say that again, 33,000 people have decided to not be in this world anymore by their own hand. And you know what I'm talking about. They decided to leave this earth by their own hand. They didn't want to be here anymore. Can you imagine that? 33,000. And there's people who still don't believe, like, I don't know who can help me, who can. There's at least one of those people who you could have helped. Not to make you feel guilty. Don't want you to feel guilty. But just to give you an idea, there's people who are just overwhelmed right now, terrified. But I don't want you to worry about that. You 3 to 5 years ago. Because someone who is you 3 to 5 years ago was one of those people who decided to leave this world. They didn't want to be here anymore. Are you guys following me? Are you guys on YouTube? Are you guys on YouTube who are, let me check on YouTube real quick. Make sure I haven't forgot. The 9 of you here on YouTube, are you guys following me? Like 33,000 people have decided to leave the world in the first 16 days of the year. They don't want to be here anymore. They're gone. Funerals have already happened. They're gone. And I guarantee you there's at least 100 of those people who were you 3 to 5 years ago. They didn't make it through like you did. But Luke, I'm still struggling. But you're still struggling. Their struggle's over. They couldn't deal with the struggle. That's a talk on its own. Dealing with the struggle. So I want you to decide, who do you want to help? Who are you going to help? If you can't decide, then it should be you 3 to 5 years from now. And I want you to just you can write a letter if you want to, but I record a video or record an audio. Don't post it anywhere. You don't have to post this anywhere. But I want you just to make it. Feel the power of making it. Just make that content and bring it with you into our next session. So everyone in the VIP Zoom room, stay here. I'm coming right back for you guys. And everyone on YouTube, like, take this to heart. Like, I don't know if y'all can leave comments because I'm streaming directly there. I can't see your comments yet. I think maybe after the video's done. But if you have a takeaway and you're in the YouTube, just if you could leave it, if you're watching the replay of this, like it's now. People need you now. You might not see it, but that doesn't take away the fact that you're needed. I don't think they need me. Yeah, well, just because you don't feel it doesn't mean that they don't need you. You 3 to 5 years ago, what did you struggle with? What were your problems that you didn't talk to anyone about with? What did you think you weren't going to make it through? And before you went to bed at night, what were you dreading about the next morning? That's all you do on one side of the paper. And on the other side of the line, draw a line. On the other side of it, write what you could do to help it. What was the result I wanted? And that's what I want you to talk about to that person. So you're going to record that audio just for I want you to record that audio just for you. Don't post it anywhere. Don't even think about that. That's too many steps. That's too far ahead. Too far ahead. Just create that piece of content. And then you guys can go over it later. So all of you on YouTube, where I'm switching out, we're going back to VIP and Zoom. To the 10 of you watching, I hope you got something out of this. And if you could share this video, if you could just leave a comment with a takeaway you have, send me a voice message on Instagram. I'll get back to you. I really love getting those messages from you guys. And YouTube, I'll speak to you soon. You guys in the VIP here on Zoom, stay here, and I will be with you guys in 1 second. YouTube, take care. Let me know your takeaways in the comments if you can. If not, drop me Instagram. Let me know what you got takeaway. You know, that it really, really helps me to see y'all's perspective on things as well.